I'm back, everybody. Today I'm going to do a little tutorial for scrap mechanic, and pretty much when next chapter comes out, which will then probably add a lot more story in it, and hopefully an explanation to what we're doing. At the moment, there's not really any objectives, so the only objective really set up is to do a warehouse. That's all the current end goal. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into it. So we're just going to go into play and survival. We'll name a game. Yeah, I'm terrible at naming games. Save. I am terrible at naming games. Once your game loads, you'll be greeted with a cinematic. Anyway, once you get in, kind of quickly place the lift down, and on the right side of the screen you can see getting started, extinguish the fire in the ship. We go in here, a lot of things on fire. We also want to pick this up, our white button, and just put on a lift. You can see it also gives us another objective to build our first car. Now that's sort of, you don't have to do this, especially as you can try easily one quicker than this car, but it's a good way to learn how the building system works. Alright, let's go to a bucket. So over here you can see we've got a little pond and an indicator. Grab that. Yeah, it also gives you self. Dismiss that. Alright, I'm just gonna get some water. Before I go, there's also another bucket over here, so I'm just gonna grab that so I do one less trip. We'll come back to this in a sec. That fire out, that fire out. So I guess I'll start off with a little tutorial on farming, just because it's over here. So for starters, you're farming, you're gonna need soil. Just place it on the ground, and if you want to place the actual bag down, just hold F. Place it like that. And then also you need seeds. Luckily it gives us some starting seeds and some fertilizer. I'm just going to cow it down, want to water it, and we want it to grow a bit faster so we don't use fertilizer. And we'll come back and that should have grown by the end. To start with, don't plant more than 9. And also we've got a visitor. Beam with a hefty sledgehammer. So that was a tote bot. Pretty simple. They're the most basic bot currently. And just hit them 3 times. It's actually never. So hit them 3 times and no, they'll go down. So while we're over it, get a sledgehammer, beat the crate open. And yeah. Now let's make sure we pick one bit of water up. And I'm actually gonna fill the bucket up for later. And just put that fire out. Now, if you're looking at the book by, you also see there's a flashing icon. We're just going to push L. That brings out our logbook, where we can also set a waypoint for our crash ship. We look up, you can see we've got a beacon marker now. Alright, you can see that requires power, and we've got a nice slot for a battery over here. We need to find. Also a free scrap wheel, which we had on the ship for some reason. You can see now wants us to go over there, so we're just gonna quickly go and break all these crates on the way over. These ones in the starting area will tend to have more food, so you'll be good for food and water for a while. And I guess once I've beaten them, I'll show you the full 3 main crops and what they're better for. There's also a third bucket, so you could run out here first, get a bucket, and put the fire out a lot easier. In one go. And get up here, there are 2 tote pots. You can see here, they weren't really close together, so I say we'll do one at a time. They die pretty quickly. Now when you get up here, you'll see find some of these hay body pieces. And we're just going to find them. These will give us 10 scrap metal each, which is going to be very handy. So yeah, let's try. Pretty important to get this, so you're going to need it. Otherwise the game's going to be a lot harder. Right now we're up here. You can see the batteries up here. I'm just going to pick that up. Let's go back. But before we go back, there are a few more crates in this building. Ow, I fell off. You're just going to go up here and be some more. Also no Haber arm. Oh wow, I actually got double scrap wheels on that one. That will actually come in handy, but you can also make those if you panic. Actually, that means I'm not going to have to make one, because there's also one within the gardening area. Now, a quick note, there is full damage. So, yeah. Unless you're ragdolling, then you don't take full damage. So, I would advise you just go back the normal way, or if you want to be a bit cheeky, you can just sort of jump here. You'll take very little damage. Now, you could go back, and there's also a crate here I missed. I think while I'm over here, I'm actually going to move on to the next little area. So this entire area here you spawn in is sort of one tile. This will be the same for every world. But beyond sort of the hill you see after this place, it pretty much turns into a random generation. You'll see there's certain POIs which will be at set places still. Yeah. Okay, when you get here, you'll notice some different type of bots. Now, I want to lure them out mostly at one at a time. Actually, I'll go for it. Okay, if Haybots just jump backwards, and you need to hit them 5 times. Or if you're a bit less confident, yeah, water bucket, you can just quickly knock them out. You can normally get 4 hits in, just make sure to back up on the 4th hit, because they probably get up by then, and they'll normally whack you very quickly. So, want to avoid that damage. More damage you take, the more food that you need to heal, or use to heal. So, the less you take, the better. Here we go. We'll also make a component kit. Those will be handy later. So make sure to hold on to them. If you throw them away, you'll regret it later. Mostly because they sort of become the most important thing. The most important item really get. Okay, one. And you need them for upgrading. And a lot of the basic stuff. Should be in there. There'll be no Haybot in here. I think there's also a 5th one somewhere. See, there's also 2 more body pieces on the floor there. Once you've done that, that should be all the scrap pieces you'll need. Scrap metal. I'm going to check, do I have all the 3 types? Yes. So you can see, you've got the 3 basic sort of food types. We've got carrots, they're a bit of a food. Red beets are sort of a mixture, they do both food and water. And tomatoes do a lot of water and little food. And the carrots also do little water as well. So yeah, when you're farming, still prioritize like tomatoes, they give you water, and water you'll be going through a lot more than food. I mean, once you've done the bottom floor, there's a second floor of this building. It's not as easy to get to. Gonna need to place our lift down. And I'm gonna need to hit up on the keyboard. I'm just gonna make sure you jump onto the ledge before you try placing the lift again. I'm just gonna slowly lift away, not into the ceiling. Careful not to push yourself through things, you will go through. Okay, when you get up here, there's also some gasoline stuff on the floor, and more Haybot body pieces. You can only find these in the starting area, and nothing respawns in the starting area, loot wise, so yeah, once you get that stuff here, these buildings will not reset, like the ones in the rest of the world. Okay, now we got everything here. We're gonna go back to the base. No, not to the base. You can also see there's also rocks. We can't break those yet. We'll need a drill, which we'll get later. And as far as trees go, oh hello, there's the 5th Haybot. As far as trees goes, there's one tree you can't cut down till later, and those ginormous trees you cannot cut down at all. Okay, so trees you can cut down are these birch looking ones, these sort of oak ones, and there's also a sort of pine variant of it. Here. Here's sort of the pine version. You can see a redwood tree there with quite tall ones. You can see it's also gone off my lift now because I moved it. Oh, just going to hit Q to rotate it. There we go. Now we're in here, we want to put the battery back in. Okay, now I've got power. So that means the craft bot here will be working. Make basic tools. I'm not going to start with the connector tool. Just get it out of the way. Also see a computer, I guess, which is gonna give us a new coordinate for the mechanic station. This is a good place to base early on. Let's also take the gasoline out of this fire, and there's also 2 sunshakes. Those are good for water, and they also give a little bit of health. I'm also gonna take the locker and the microwave. They both have inventory, so I'll put this down. You can see there's 4 slots. That'll be handy. Because not all items, so for example component kits, when you place them, only place 1 at a time. Unlike fertilizer, which places in a stack. So yeah, that's why I'm going to snag those. Yeah, I'm also going to want to start making bearings. Takes a while to craft stuff. Alright, now it's getting late, so we're just going to cut a tree down overnight, really. So just hit with a sledgehammer. You know, it's a sledgehammer, it's pretty good at cutting a tree down. So see, we break 1 trunk, turns into 2 pieces, and then we just break those 2 pieces and it turns into wads, which we can refine by hand, which will give us 10 scrap wood. And I'll get back to you once I finish refining this entire tree, plus the birch tree, because I'll need a little bit more scrap wood. Okay, I'm actually thirsty, so I'm going to grab some tomatoes. We'll lose a lot more thirst when cutting trees down and refining them, so... But now you can see a little bit of food I lost is quickly gained by just eating tomatoes, you know, don't give that much. You break my carrot. Okay, that's one thing to note, bots will attack crops. And, he took my carrot. I just came over to grab some soil bags. Just gonna pick all this extra soil up. Alright, while we're over here, if you want to get wood and don't want to cut it down, there is a bit of wood you can just sneakily take from this building. Break that. Yeah, it's a bit more there. There you go. Just free wood. And while we're over here, there's also another scrap wheel and a bearing. Come handy. And in this case, I've actually got enough scrap wheels just from looting. But again, you can also just make them. So yeah, I'm just going to go back to the ship, and I guess for the rest of the night, I'm going to be crafting all the bits I need. Start as well before I go in. I'm just going to do building. So I'm just going to build out there. Out there. If you're not on the right plane, just press Q. You'll change planes you build on. You can build like that. Just going to do that for now. There you go, the craft bot. See bearings. I'm going to need 6 bearings, 4 scrap wheels, 1 scrap engine, and 1 scrap driving seat. And also I'm going to need a connect tool to connect things together, but I already made that earlier. So yeah, it will take a bit, so it'll be good to do overnight. Okay, so I've now just finished crafting everything. So I've got 4 wheels, scrap seat, and a scrap engine. Should be light outside, yep. Okay, now it wants us to be underneath, so we're going to have to raise up the up key, and just put those on. You can see this is actually the front at this end, and missing bearing actually, so slightly miscounted, but luckily I've got a bit of scrap still. Okay, now we've done that, base bearings there, put blocks on. Now we'll just put bearings on the end of each of those. This part is pretty self-done now with the tutorial block. It's added in the challenge mod update not so long ago, So it ain't as hard as it used to be, but it used to expect you to do it by yourself. Let's get close to the floor. Let's get those hot bar out. Put the seat there, and the engine there. Now, a good tip to remember. Also, it's gonna let me see just do the steering bearings. See, it's sort of points to H1, and those are also backwards. We want it to be inverted. Now, a good thing to remember in scrap mechanic is always connect the engine up first to the seat, then to the wheels. Especially if you have the engine on, like it's on the first bar and it has fuel, it will go off without you, and commonly your left wheels will be backwards. So just make sure your wheels are in the right direction. Now the engine does need gas, so make sure you have it on your hotbar and you can put it in. And that's that quest done. Off we go. Actually some chests around here I think it can spawn. Yeah, these ones are a bit more random. And just gonna ignore that. That's a rock steak that drops from something I'll show you in a sec. Yeah, before we go, we are gonna grab some of these ember trees. There's a few dotted around the crash site. See them sticking up pretty easily. Now I'm just gonna grab 10. There we go. And the reason I'm doing that is so I don't have to look from ember biome later on. This stage I don't actually take two things out of my inventory because there's a little extra spot in the front. So I'm just going to put the microwave there and put the embers in because they stack singly. Now this car, as you can see, isn't the best, but it's a good induction nonetheless. So yeah, we're just going to follow along like where the crash site is. Go past the building with the hay bots. If you see any bots, I would recommend taking them out. Better hit them by himself, but only the hay bot and tote bots. If you see any others, don't mess with them. Because the other one you see will be immune to sledgehammers hits. And yeah, it won't be a good time for you. Okay, now at this point, because I'm actually just gonna pick us up and lift, put down, pick up. This is a lot easier to control. Obviously first I'm going to take the table out because I want to try and get some more circuit boards and component kits. Ow. There you got me there. You got me there. Maybe a scrap metal will also come in handy as well. Go along. I'm actually going to go into this field and see if I can find something quickly. There you go, there's one. There's another. See, you've got a rock here. You spin it around, you get a cow. And so yeah, rocks are essentially just an inverted cow. Both in their name and in the build. There's actually no crate down here, and I have just noticed we're actually by a honey rock, as I call them. Essentially, these rocks, not rocks, oh god, I'm confused again. Yeah, you'll find like these little rocks across the world, which will have honey on them. Well, not honey, but beeswax. Whenever you find beeswax, especially early game, make sure to grab it. Just need to use lift, get up, and hit them with a hammer. So sometimes the arm might be a bit hidden. Where's that one? There we go. Ouch. But you want to definitely grab that if you want to make a better car in the future. There's also flowers. That's good for making paint ammo. Here's corn. Now, unlike real life, you cannot eat this. But rocks can eat it for you. Walk nearby, and we're going to run away back. I'm going to run away back, aren't I? So if I get 3 corn and just place it down by the rock, When I eat all 3 of them, they'll give me a rock milk. Now this is pretty good for hydration. So you need water, it's a pretty good way to get it. Actually no, I'll let him eat that next one. Grab some myself. And guess I'm actually low on water right now, so it's a quick drink. That's a nice amount. I think it's a bit better than tomatoes actually. Yeah, it's better than tomatoes. Obviously, to do that, you have to go out and get corn, as you cannot grow it yourself currently. Yeah, so essentially at this point, we just want to get to the marker. Keep an eye out for bots. Are just roaming the world. And to be honest, before you get to the marker, you'll probably want to cross what's coming up ahead right now. You know, pretty drive here. Oh, I'm just driving backwards. There's not really any difference. Anyway, find these little scrap little towns. There's always going to be a top box around, either in parking lots or areas, or between buildings. So here, you can get a lot of things. So you can get a lot of building resources, but the main one you normally get hit from here is seeds and soil. Those are the main things here. If you're low on wood, you can also come here and be really cheeky and just yoink a bunch of wood. It's all scrap wood. So, see, I go over a stack now. Just try easily just take a bunch of wood, but good place to mostly just get I think it's 4 tools seeds you can get here. There's like potatoes, red beets, tomatoes, carrots. Those are the 4 seeds you get here. Alright, let's just keep going along. Over there in the distance, you can see a bit of a building. That's a warehouse. Avoid it for now. The bots that spawn there. Yeah. It's just better to avoid it. What circuit board? Thank you. Yeah, so daily you want to get 10 circuit boards and 10 component kits before we get to the mechanic station. Got 10 of those, and I've just got 7 component kits, so I need 3 more. The total bot, they won't give component kits, only hay bots. And the other 2 bots in the game, which I'll leave for a bit later. If you're lucky, you can find crates just in the world, dotted around. I haven't seen one yet. There we go, on those places, okay. So when you're going across roads, you can find this little road in section, but there's a bit of road which have rocks around it and a sign. There's normally a crate around here. And I think there's also a rock which has beeswax. I'm not sure though. I don't know about beeswax, I want to be honest. Yeah, there is. There's beeswax. There's also a hay bot that's around. It's right over here. I saw one for a sec. There is. This one goes nowhere. Yeah, occasionally you will find roads that just go nowhere and just die off. Alright, before we go, I'm gonna grab the beeswax. Later on you can get a chair and just place a chair here and get up these a lot easier. Oh, he's also facing the wrong way. Yeah, hopefully they fix that at some point. This other one's actually a bit high, so I'm just gonna have to build up a little bit. You can see there's also sort of biomes, so we sort of get plainish or biomes, have very little trees, sort of forest biomes. So have be a lot harder to navigate. But there's a really dense forest biome, probably avoid it. There's a hot that spawns in there, which ain't nice. I got one of those rocks right there, that also has honey on it, that should. Yep, here you go, we'll see it. Oh, there's actually an ember biome over there, that's actually pretty good. To have an ember biome not far away. Okay, so we made it to the mechanic station. See, it's where you move the beacon to find a way to activate. So it really points out for it. But see, we've got a regular car park again, and we also got some sort of interface up there. Get that in a second. I should probably also mention there are beds at the crash site, but your spawn's literally outside, like where you started anyway. But you also get beds here, so I'm going to set spawn here. I'll recommend doing the side pods, not the top middle one, because, well, you do top middle one, you'll have a roomie. So yeah, probably make sure to bring a bit of water. And apparently he's stuck in the door frame. Okay, that's actually weird. He normally gets through that pretty easily. Okay, not as I'm a little bit injured and I've got just one odd sunshake. I'm actually just gonna take that. That'll give me 10 health, so I'll reduce the amount of food I need. Yeah, that haybot will respawn, so that's why you don't want to be up here. And the pod 1 is the same as pod 3. Right, let's put the battery in. Let's go to the top, and I know I don't have enough, but this is what we did want to make for the 10 Zug Balls and 10 Coupon Kits. And we've also got enough scram metal from doing haybots. On the way over. This will have all the craft recipes in the game currently. Which is why we're after, other than the ones that in that menu. That's exclusive to mechanic stations. We actually got honeybot. Right, we want to come back around to the back side here because there's actually going to be a free regular wheel. Which is one less we need to make. And in this case, I've actually got beeswax rocks right outside, which is just perfect. Don't know if there's another node in this rock or not. Yep, there you go. There tends to be 3. There's normally 3. Can find 5 at times. Anyway, that's enough beeswax for a future with. If I wanted to make a better car in the future. But that will not be in this part. Anyway, I need 10 Coupon Kits. I still want to end off with Craftbot and probably doing a bit of farming because that's pretty important. You're going to want to come to one of these places. So these are sort of just abandoned ruins. There's a bunch of crates. These, he also has a bit more things compared to the other one. So some of them will start seeing glass blocks now. I don't think you can get Einstein one. And oh, it should be. Andrew's actually really thought it is. I'm just gonna take it. Full stop. There should be haybots here. I think on average is around 5. So, but that's throughout the building. So, roughly 1 to 2 per floor. Unless you've been finding them, they do come down. So, ouch. Okay, there are certain spots. I'm trying to think for this building. I don't know if there's actually, oh gosh, there's actually tons of haybots here. Yes, there's a group. 1. Just 1. Because you can see, they keep up pretty easily. They keep up pretty easily when there's a group of them. So in this case, I think I'm going to want a little bit space lift. Hit my mouse by accident. No, I'm just going to ban that because it's going to be too close. Yeah, I can distract him with the lift. Okay, broke him up a little bit. Ouch. Okay, yeah, from this group, really just do 1 hit. 1, ouch. Gosh, yeah, this is why you bring a water bucket. I'll take this guy on. There you go, that's -1. Just want to do drive-bys. Oh gosh. Yeah, pretty much don't take a group on. Here, they broke up, perfect. I could probably get away with finding this. Yeah, he's in. I don't know if I've hit this one yet. He's doing his curiosity mode. Okay, so that's probably the majority of the building cleared, haybots wise, because they all sort of came after me. Might be 1 on the top floor still. Right, now I have to have fun and look for all these body pieces. Let's just go back to the building and let's just keep going through it. There's probably all the haybots. Alright, nope, here's one that came down. Probably on the roof. So much easier when they're by themselves. You're lucky and you get like sort of a bigger building. You could probably get like the 10 Coupon Kits and 10 circuit boards probably. But you most of the time you probably have to do about 2 or 3. Garment boxes, those are actually pretty useful if you want to get new cosmetics. And because my inventory's full, I think I'm just gonna put this locker down. And let's fill it with stuff that's already full stacks. Okay, there we go. The orange is also handy. Trying to remember what that does best, and I think it's just water. I'm just going to put that there and it'll just fall off when I move my lift. Okay, and you see these buildings do have hay in them, with crates hidden in them, and occasionally you can also find a hay bot inside the hay pail. So yeah, be careful. Careful when exploring. Can also be loot crates up there, but I'm just going to skip it because they're a pain to get. It's easy once you have a seat on you, you can just go up very quickly. Okay, you can also find gold crates at the top of these buildings, like even this floor or the floor below. But in this case, I did not find one. There we go, there comes my crate, and I'm just going to use my lift to move this back. Okay, now we can make a craft pot. I'm just going to do that. There we go, a craft pot. This will be really handy. It's just going to let us to make a ton of things. See, we can make things like paint tools, weld tools, and yeah, a lot of different blocks. So we can make wood 1, which is a lot more durable than scrap wood. Wood 2, which is even more durable and more buoyant. And wood 3, which is more durable and more buoyant. Things like that. Also make metal 1 out of scrap metal. Then we can also make high metal. Metal 3 is very hard to break. It's just 8 out of 10. It's also concrete, but we'll get to it later. Glass. Explosives. Wheels. Repair wheels. And if you go to the Untitled tab, you'll see a lot of components. So we can make better engines. So we can make a gas engine or even electric. So batteries are a bit of a pain to do currently. Pistons, better driver seats, and these can also all be upgraded. They can. You can make the drill, you can make the saw blade, which will help with the big trees and the rocks. Water cannon, that's good for watering crops. Vacuum pump, good at getting water, chemical, oil, things like that. Yeah, generally very useful to get a craft pot. Okay, before I end this part, I am going to go and actually start a farm. So yeah, I'll do it. So if you build a farm too big, you'll get raids. And essentially when there's a raid, bots will come attack you. These bots will just spawn in, so yeah. So ideally when you're building a farm, you want to build close to the edge. You do where there's water, just so you can easily bucket water and water them. Pretty handy when you have a lot of crops. Because the more crops you have, the more back and forth you need to go. But in this case, I could probably get away with doing them on that island if I want to make it really hard for bots to get to. But I think I'm just going to do it right here. So I'm going to place down soil. I'm just going to try to keep it neat. Place there. Okay. That's a bit annoying. So I'm going to place down 9 soil. So the way the crop system works is like tomatoes, carrots, beets. They all count for 1. Let's say they're a value of 1 crop value. And for a raid, the most basic raid to start, you require a crop value of 10. So if I just place like 9 crops, which are value 1, I'll be fine. You can see there, I'll still mostly tomatoes because they get water. And as long as you don't get hit too much, you don't need that much food. And if you're good with your bucket throws, you can water multiple plots. And if you really wanted to, you could fertilize these to grow, but these will take less than a day anyway to grow. I think it's like 21 hours in game. Yeah, so if you plan after midnight, you'll get them for midnight before the raid even starts, which is a good way to do it. But because I'm only planting 9 and the raid's not going to start, I'm just going to plant 9 and at any time, it doesn't matter. The only thing I'll have to worry about is if bots wander over. So that would have been an advantage of doing it on the island, because hay bots, they hate water, so they won't actually go over there. They'll just wait at the coast if they were like in the raid. Tow bots will swim, but I don't think tow bots swim all the way over there. But anyway, just because I don't leave the farm completely defenseless, can just do a little bit of a barrier to make it so they can't see him. If there's a raid, they'll go directly to where they are. If the bot's just wandering around, I don't think they'll actually attack very quickly. Unless they see him. Yeah. It's just a basic wall. Obviously this will break quickly, so if we're doing a raid, the first raid you'll get will have 3 tow bots. Followed by, I think it's another 3. Then it's 4 for the third night. Then it goes back to what will be the first night. And it's been a long time since I've done like farming at this level. Because eventually you can build try big farm, and then you sort of do one farm, and as long as you successfully defend it fully, you get a lot of crops from it. Yeah, this would be good enough to sustain ourselves. Unless you're playing multiplayer, then you probably won't actually do the raid. It won't be that hard. If you have 2 people, you can definitely cover the farm from tow bots. And higher than that, obviously the bigger crop, the more things you get. So higher levels can have hay bots. Don't ask me what the value is, because I don't remember off the top of my head. So yeah. Yeah, that will grow, and I think I'll leave the harvesting this in the next part, because you can see I haven't got a raid counter yet. And that's essentially if there's enough for a raid to spawn, you'll get a timer which will appear just about above one of these crops, and that timer will go to midnight. So at midnight is when bots attack. Don't do it during the day because they're too busy wandering around, I guess, or they are trying to do a strategic play. I'm not sure, but they come at midnight. And oh yeah, it's been mentioned, bots to attack the rocks. So you might find a rock running and a hay bot following it, or a tow bot following it, or something worse if you're really unlucky. Anyway, for today, that's going to do it all for this basic tutorial. This is all just the base game. So this is just survival. Pretty much once you get this sort of food going, if you're by yourself, you're good. And you don't have to worry about raids. If you're a group, you probably want a bit more than this to sustain it, everyone. Just going to eat a carrot now. A little low on food from all the damage I took earlier with hay bots. But yeah. That's all for this part, and I'll see you in the next one, where we'll probably be moving on to making a better vehicle. So until then, see you next time.